Hello. Okay. So I started to think about things that I didn't know when I first started going to Disneyland that I really got excited about and wanted to learn more about and be involved in. Things that I missed. And I don't want anybody to miss anything that they want to do. So I'm going to go through some things that you might not know about. Maybe you do, but things that you don't know about that I don't want you to miss at Disneyland. Okay, so the first thing that I had no idea was Sleeping Beauty's castle. So the castle in Disneyland, you can go inside it. And it does the whole story of Sleeping Beauty. It has it's almost like they're telling pages of the story through like just different pictures of the movie. They have like interactive qualities, like there's a really kind of creepy, maleficent shadow scene and that sort of thing, but there's stairs. It's in Fantasyland, and it's right by the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. If you can't do stairs, they do have kind of like a off to the side room that has similar pictures and that sort of thing. So, and I know what that's like because there's times that I'm like, I've had a hip replacement. I can't do stairs today. So, but I didn't know about that the first time that we went and I missed it. It does close early. So if you're interested in doing it, I would get there and, find a downtime. I wouldn't waste my golden hour at the Sleeping Beauty's castle because it's never crazy busy. Super cool. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. So this is expensive. And you don't need to do it if you don't want to. But pretty much what it is young girls and boys can, up to age 12, I think it's 12. Maybe I should do a video on this and learn more about it because that's a good idea. They can get decorated in a Disney outfit. So what my daughter did, we did it during Christmas time. So she went into the room and they said, okay, and we made a reservation in advance. I made one for my son as well. And she picked out what she wanted to be. They've got all the Disney princesses, and my son got to be a knight, and at the time, they had 2 levels of knight. There's like a cheaper version and a really like hardcore knight costume. He picked the cheaper one. Because it came with a sword and a shield. He was super stoked. And then they did his hair and put glitter on it, and he was a knight all day, and it was adorable. My daughter chose to be Minnie Mouse, and she was a Christmas Minnie Mouse. So they do like a whole makeover for these kids, and they did like cute buns for her, and then they had like a little Christmas bow. They do their makeup, they paint their nails, so it's like a whole like makeover kind of a thing. They don't do heat products on their hair, so they're going to be doing safe things. They actually give you like shampoo to wash out the glitter at the end of the night. It was a really fun experience, and we did it on like a 5-day trip on the last day because we were all tired of each other, and then they looked all really cute. So Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, it's an expensive added event kind of a thing. What I see a lot of people doing is they bring their own costume from home because kids can dress up. That's 100% allowed. Only adults can dress up during like Oogie Boogie Bash. You can do Disney bounding. I do that all the time. That's just like dressing up, sort of. Not like full-blown costume. They don't want to confuse the kids, you know what I mean? They don't want somebody walking around like Sleeping Beauty and you're not their character. But like a kid can dress up like them. The mom or dad does their hair and makeup at the hotel, and then they get to walk around the park all fanciful. So just an idea. Something I didn't know about was virtual queues. And that is super important because there are rides that periodically are in virtual queues, and you won't get to ride them if you don't have the virtual queue. For a long time, what's it called? Rise of the Resistance. You had to have a virtual queue to ride that. You couldn't ride it. You couldn't wait in line. There was no standby. There was no lightning lane, plus multi-pass, nothing like that. So you would have to wake up and be right on time, and like you just sit there and refresh your app on your phone and then click it and get your pass so that you have to come back at a certain time for your virtual queue time. Right now, Haunted Mansion is on virtual queue. If you want to ride it, you have to have a virtual queue, and it's because they don't have a line. They don't have a place for you to stand in line, really. They just have you go right into the building. So something to think about, virtual queues. Wish I'd known about that. Lightning Lane Multipass. Lightning Lane Multipass. This used to be Genie Plus. These are ways that you can get on a ride, pay extra, and get on a ride faster. That's what it is. There's different levels of it, and I probably should make a video on the current version that is astronomically expensive. But pretty much what you would do is you would make a reservation for when you want to ride a ride, kind of a thing. And then once you've ridden that ride, you can make a new one for a different ride. And there's only certain rides that you can do. And then you can also purchase single lane rides as well. Just an idea. Benefits of wheelchair or people with disabilities. I say this because this is me. I have had a total hip replacement. I need another one. And I just recently found out my knee needs to be replaced at some point in my life. I just wait until they completely die because they're only good for about 30 years. There are benefits to having a person with you that is in a scooter, motorized wheelchair, whatever. It's almost like having your own lightning lane multipass. What happens is in Disneyland, they didn't create Disneyland necessarily for wheelchair accessibility. So like all those cute rides in Fantasyland, a wheelchair is not going to fit in there. So what they do is you go to the end of the line and bring your tickets, and they will scan your tickets and then give you a return time, and then they will take you in through the exit. And if you can transfer, they will have you transfer from your wheelchair to the car or whatever ride vehicle it is. There are some rides like Small World and Haunted Mansion that have specific, I guess, the doom buggies that you can literally drive your wheelchair on, and they'll ask you, can you transfer? I can transfer. I just can't walk more than like a mile, and then everything starts to fall apart. So what happens when you're 80 from the waist down. There's also a special section for parades and shows and musical presentations for people in wheelchairs. We watched Fantasmic from a special section off to the side. It brought me to tears that they had a special spot for people that are in a wheelchair that can't fight through the crowds. Like, you just can't. It's really hard to, I don't want to hit anybody in my scooter, right? So they just have a special spot for people that are in it, and it was a front row seat to Fantasmic, and it was amazing. We ate popcorn, and I sat in my scooter, and I didn't feel embarrassed. I felt seen and Anyway, seasonal food offerings. Their food is changing all the time. Their snacks, their meals, their entrees. It's all the time different. So find out what you like. I mean, my sister had me get her there was like a mint alien macaroon cookie at Pizza Planet. So I brought that home for her. Like, there's seasonal offerings all the time. Mobile ordering is the most glorious, time-saving, brilliant thing that could happen, and I still see people standing in line. You can be standing in line for a ride. Get on your phone, order what you want, and then when you get off the ride, go to the mobile ordering window and pick up the food. You don't have to wait in line for food. If you're waiting in line for food, then it's got to be something that doesn't have a mobile order, which most food does. The bigger restaurants, and I have another video on restaurants and kind of broke it all down, but like Rancho del Zocalo, that's not a mobile app. You just like kind of walk up to the different windows and pick out what food you want and then check out. It's like cafeteria style. Main Street attractions. There's so many fun things to do on Main Street. There's great moments with Mr. Lincoln. I remember the first time I went to that and he stands up and I was like, what the heck is happening? It's very surprising to me to see this animatronic just get out of his chair. They have black and white films like the OGs, Steamboat Willie. You can ride the trolley, you can ride the bus. There's a horse-drawn carriage. There's a lot of fun things to do there. Mainly little kids like to do it, but still, fun things to do. The Adventureland tree is super fun. Once again, plan on a lot of steps. It used to be the Swiss Family Robinson. It used to be the Tarzan tree. Now it is the Adventure tree. It is complete, and it is fabulous. And they always do like a little homage to the previous version, so it's fun to look at. There are magical, expensive experiences, such as a tour of Walt Disney's apartment. I don't know if you knew this, but on Main Street, Walt Disney, because he's there so much, had a studio apartment put in there so he could sleep over and, eat his chili out of a can. So you can get a tour of that. You can get a tour of his train that he liked. He had it like his own little train. I don't know what it's called. Like, you sit in it. Like, it's just one section of a train. Club 33. I have a video on that because I got to go do that. That was a phenomenal experience. Club 33 is a special exclusive club to very few people. And unless you know someone, you can't get in, and you can eat there. You're buying the food as well. Like, and you can buy, they have a small little gift shop in there as well. But it's a whole experience. It's phenomenal. And it's in Orleans Square above Pirates of the Caribbean. So you can sit and eat food and watch people walk by inside the restaurant. It was amazing. There's a petrified tree in Frontierland. It's just awesome. I don't know. You might miss it when you're walking by. But it's this big tree that, I mean, what do you gift your wife? That's what Walt did. He gifted his wife a petrified tree. It's like 1,000+ years old. And she donated it to Disneyland to put on display because it was cool. And it is. What better place than the petrified tree in Frontierland? There's also another tree in Frontierland that's the Halloween tree. It's only there during Halloween, but it's got orange lights all over it. It's really pretty. It's based on a poem. I'm an English teacher, so I love it. There's also a little leprechaun house. Just a little leprechaun house. It's right by the entrance to Indiana Jones, and there's actually a little book that I have. It's so cute. But it's about the leprechaun that lived in Disneyland, and that's his little house. They put like a little smoke pipe and a little door in the side of a tree so that you can find the leprechaun house for the leprechaun that lives in Disneyland. There's hidden Mickeys everywhere. If you don't know what a hidden Mickey is, it's like a quarter and 2 dimes, just that symbol of Mickey. And they're everywhere. There's some in Toontown. There's one in, what's that called? Indiana Jones. They're just randomly everywhere. There's some in Galaxy's Edge. Like, they just put them on the side of buildings. They put them in ride queues. They're just everywhere. Finding hidden Mickeys. There's like books that tell you where every single hidden Mickey is in Disneyland. I love finding hidden Mickeys. They're super fun. And we look for hidden Mickeys in our everyday life. And we like, that bread bowl looks like a hidden Mickey. That light looks like a hidden Mickey. We elbow each other. You can get personalized Mickey ears. They're kind of a leather type. And it's at the Mad Hatter store, which is in Fantasyland. And then you buy the ears, and then you take them to Main Street, pick a design, pick what writing you want on it, and then by the end of the day, you can pick it up and leave with your personalized ears. They only have so many spots, so I would do that earlier in the day if you want to do that. You can also get personalized etched glass. That's in New Orleans Square. There's a little store across the street from the Blue Bayou and the exit to Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's a cheap, not like to get something that's personalized in Disneyland. Like, I got this cute glass cup, and it's got Minnie Mouse etched glass on it, and it's got my name. And I love it because it's like a personalized piece of Minnie Mouse. And I think it was like $30. I don't think it's much money more. I think it was like $25 for the cup and then $5 for the etched part. Right next to that store, you can have a comic drawn, like if you wanted to do that. And you don't have to sit and pose for it. You can send them a picture that you want. So if you have like a family picture, I think they charge by the head. So however many people are in there. There are sneaky ways to move through lands. There's this little sneaky, skinny road, like trail between Frontierland and Fantasyland. So you don't have to fight the crowds to go through the castle. You can go through this side one, and it ropes around by Maurice's Treats food truck and the Royals. It's like a little play area, theater area. That's another thing that you might miss out on, is they have a little theater area right there to the side of the castle. If your kids want to break and you want to break, you can sit and watch a 15-minute version of Beauty and the Beast. Like, just they act the whole thing out. So super fun. But those sneaky trails are nice. You've also got another one on the other side going down and behind, kind of by, there's like a little, like a wishing well fountain. You can go that way to get to Tomorrowland or down to Main Street. And there's also a little side, like there's a decent road that I feel like it's never super busy, and it has like the fun Alice in Wonderland bathrooms. I know that's weird, but the Alice in Wonderland bathrooms are so cool because they have like doors that are playing cards. So they've got like painted designs on all the bathrooms. You could talk about all the cool bathrooms in Disneyland. They're just random and cool. Okay. Tom Sawyer's Island. You might miss this. It's not something everybody sees. It's kind of at the bottom. You can see it by, oh, it's in Critter Country, which isn't going to be Critter Country for much longer, but it's at the bottom of Splash Mountain. That's going to be Tiana's Bayou. Tiana's Bayou might be open by now. Oh, I want to go back. But to get to Tom Sawyer's Island, like if you've gone and seen Fantasmic and it's all there, there's an island in the middle of that big river, Rivers of America. The island, you can go to that island and it's like a playground. It has so many fun interactive qualities. There's a bathroom there if your kids need it, but there's just, it's Tom Sawyer's Island. It's super cool. They have like a pirate chest. Like there's just cool things. You can like pull a body out of the, like a skeleton out of the water. Like it's trying to do like a pirate theme. It does close early, but they do have like a raft that takes you back and forth. So you don't have to swim. I know you were worried about that. There's also canoeing. I've never done canoeing. I can't convince my family to do it. But the canoe cast members are so flipping fun. And they have to fill up every day the waters of America. They walk down with big jugs of water every day and fill it up. So they're phenomenal. And you ride in a canoe around the rivers of America. I've never done it. I want to do it. I can't convince my family to do it. And the last thing I want to talk about that you might be missing out on is just, oh wait, no, the silhouettes. Silhouettes. So like a side picture they have on Main Street, and me and my kids got this, but there's an artist that takes a black sticker and has you sit sideways and cuts out the profile of your face, and then they stick it on a picture, and it's like a silhouette of you, and it looks exactly like you. It's insane. I don't know how they figure out how to do that. So I loved having my little silhouette souvenir. My kids love theirs too. It's framed and in their bedroom, and they can hold on to it until the end of the day for you, and you can go get it at the end of the night so that you don't have to carry around this picture. Small shops. Obviously, I like to shop at Disneyland. Check out their shops. They have little ones everywhere. There's a whole bunch in Fantasyland. There's little shops in Tomorrowland and Frontierland. They're just everywhere. I love seeing the little shops. I highly recommend them. Hopefully this gives you some ideas of things that you might want to try out and test and not miss out on if you're in Disneyland. Please like and subscribe. I will come up with more ideas to help you on your Disney trip.